From my superhost threatening to sue me, to my superhost calling me an asshole, superhost claiming that I ruined her couch, to me winning the case, to the superhost losing her badge. Welcome to my story time about my terrible Airbnb experience. Get the popcorn ready.
Aren't you glad to meet me? I think you should. I mean, I really think you should.
What is up, guys? I'm back with another video. I'm literally using a Snapchat filter. This is hilarious, but yeah. So anyways, I thought I'd make this video. As you could tell by the title of this video, it's about that Airbnb experience that I had. That was terrible. So yeah, let's get into it. I know a lot of you have been asking me what happened, and I haven't dropped the video yet, so I'm gonna explain to you guys right now since it's almost been a year, so let's get into it. So this video is probably gonna be semi-decent long. I basically stayed at this Airbnb for 2 weeks, so a lot of shit went down even after the trip. Let's just say you might want to stick around till the end because this host ended up losing her superhost badge because of me, and shit went down. So stay tuned till the end of this video. I want to quickly point out that Airbnb in general isn't really trash, like their customer service. We'll talk about that later, but your experience is based on the host, okay? I just want to start off by saying that this was my first time using Airbnb, and this was my second Airbnb that I stayed at where these problems occurred. The first Airbnb that I stayed at was during the same vacation, but I had no problems. I was there for 2 nights, no problems. The host was great, no problems. Even the last Airbnb that I stayed at after the problem one during my vacation to Florida was fine, and I stayed there for a few nights. And ever since this vacation, I have stayed at a few different Airbnbs, different locations, different states, and they have all been fine. So it all depends on your host. Well, we'll get into why this one was tragic. We were an hour early in the area, so I let the host know this, you know, just to see if we could check in early. It's like only an hour difference. But she said she'll let me know, and obviously she never did. So we just decided to drive around the neighborhood, check it out. We had nothing better to do because we drove down there. So yeah, so we drove around, we drove by the house to see the area, and as we're there, we see a moving company moving furniture an hour before check-in. Like, I wasn't thinking anything of it. I'm like, what the hell? Like, okay, so whatever. So fast forward check-in, we show up, still not ready. There's still people moving in furniture into the house and all this. And I'm just like, I had a long ass car ride. Things should have been ready during check-in, okay? And they were not. This is like number one. This is strike number one. Okay, this is not why I complained or the problems or whatever, but this is just adding on to it and my terrible experience. So nothing was ready for us when we arrived. So people are still moving in furniture. Even the pool was dirty, okay? Like, shit in the pool, not actual shit, but there was like garbage and shit in the pool, okay? Couldn't use the pool. The first 2 nights of us being there, great. So not only wasn't the pool cleaned, the inside and outside lights were not working. And there was no barbecue, soap, no nothing, no iron, nothing really as listed. So basically the house wasn't ready for us during check-in and the first night being there. The hot tub wasn't working. It's not even a hot tub anymore because according to her, the old tenants that rented from her broke it or whatever. So the hot tub wasn't working. It was more like a spa. If you've ever rented from an Airbnb, you know the price very much fluctuates when you get a pool or hot tub. So I was paying a lot of money for no reason. So she said that she would refund me $50 for a pet fee because of that. Okay, there was no pet fee, okay, in the listing. I don't know what that has to do with the hot tub not working. Like, I was paying a lot of money per night for a hot tub without a hot tub for 2 weeks. So I don't know what $50 is gonna do, but rent out an Airbnb if you're not gonna be ready. Like, we booked this a week before. You had a whole week to get everything done, and you clearly didn't. So now I'm being bothered during the time that I'm paying for and nothing's ready. I'm being bothered. Like, it's just a nightmare. So the next day, she had to come and deliver all the missing items, bothering us, obviously, to deliver it because she didn't have things ready. I forgot to mention that this host had workers constantly showing up to fix shit because obviously the house wasn't ready for us. So I would have workers come to the house twice a day, bothering us all the time. And we were staying at a guest house and there was a main house, but however, the main house wasn't rented during our stay. And that was the whole reason of picking this location, because it was nice enough and it wasn't going to be shared. But she still had people also in the main house doing shit, trying to get her ready to rent out, which was not the agreement. And once again, people just kept showing up, bothering us. We even had the host show up really late at night once, unannounced, to come and get shit. We even had the pool guy show up 7:30 in the morning, early as fuck, waking us up unannounced. She never gave us a date or time that the pool guy was going to show up when she was supposed to. So we would just keep getting bothered, basically, and it was really fucking annoying. She was so annoyed of me telling her this that her response was that if I don't like the way it is, then maybe I should just go somewhere else and get my money back. Remind you, I drove all the way down from Canada, and it's literally the day before Christmas Eve that this is all going down, and she's threatening to tell me to get out and kick me out. All because she doesn't have the house ready and she's annoying the fuck out of me. So what I did the day before Christmas Eve, which is a big night for me because I ended up losing my grandfather when I was young on Christmas Eve, so it is not a day to fuck with me. So I was really pissed that I'm spending my vacation on the phone with Airbnb support, asking them what the hell is all this shit. And according to Airbnb support, that host can kick you out whenever she wants. You'll get your money back, but she can kick you out whenever she wants, just because your personalities aren't going well together. So just because she doesn't like how I am, she can kick me out, just because of my personality. And I get that it's her house, but it's like someone renting. You don't just kick them out. Like, there should be rules against that you just don't kick someone out because you don't like their personality. There should be somewhere that in the agreement. But basically, I obviously just told her, look, I want to stay. I don't want to leave. It's Christmas. There would be literally nowhere to go. Everything would be sold out, because it was. I looked. So I just bit my tongue, told her to stop inviting people over and we'll be fine. Okay? Just get everyone to do what they need to do after I leave. So I just got her to shut up because I'm like, I can't get kicked out before Christmas. So I was going to deal with it when I got back home. So basically, yeah, the 2 weeks were trash. And yeah, it just wasn't a good experience. Especially because I was also getting sick. But I'll put that in another video of how I almost died in Florida. Next video. So like I said, I stayed at another Airbnb in Florida for the rest of my vacation. So after I left her house, you best believe I took photos. I took photos of every single place in that house because I could tell this girl was the type of girl to lie. Because the way she was talking about her old tenants, being like, oh, they ruined all this shit and all that. I took photos of everything because I did not want her coming after me. Because there was already damage to the house. Like, the windows were full of dog scratches, and I did not need her blaming that on me or anything else. All I gotta say is thank God I took photos. So I put in a complaint with Airbnb requesting some money back And it seemed like a lot of money, but not really, because the nights were so expensive. I wasn't even asking back a week's worth, okay? I should have, because the whole stay was shit, considering that everything kept going on and off the whole stay. There was no hot tub. Like, I should have got way more money back than I did and requested, but I wasn't trying to be greedy. And just a reminder, I'm not that type of person that wants to ruin someone's hustle. So that wasn't my intention at all, even after she pissed me off, which I'm about to get into. So it's kind of funny how I started requesting money back from her, and then she had the audacity to message me before she even put a formal complaint in. She just sent me a photo the next day of a couch that looked like it was ripped. And all she did was send me the photo. No caption, no nothing. So it's kind of like she was trying to silence me, which is actually hilarious because, remind you, I took photos before I left with timestamps on them. So this girl literally ripped her own couch, and you could very much tell so because it looks like an iron or a boot was like dragged onto the couch because there's a foot mark on it, which don't match any of my shoes or my foot. So you could tell it was like something that was purposely dragged on the couch and ripped it herself. Basically, she was being such a headache in the messages. She would message me at 12 in the morning, responding to me, being like, well, I didn't rip it, blah, blah, blah. You had a dog there. Really? So because I have a dog and magically like ripped your couch, like, that's why I put in the review later on, like, make sure if you have pets there, you take photos, because she gonna blame you for having a dog. So this girl was just straight up being annoying and unprofessional, messaging me at 12 in the morning and trying to say that I ripped her couch when she knows damn well I did not. I just want to start off by saying I won this case, okay? Point blank period. But let's get into it. She even stalked my social media because I guess there's only so many Katriinas with 2 eyes in their name. She literally went through a 2016 photo on my Twitter of both of my dogs, Bailey and Blizzard at the time, on my couch. And she's like, oh, but your dogs obviously like couches. And I'm like, are you really stalking my social media right now at 12 in the morning and sending me a message of it? Like, really? It is so emotionally draining to even still talk about to this day because I can't remember exactly how it went down. And I definitely don't want to pull up my messages right now because it'll just emotionally drain me. This was so emotionally draining, okay? Like, she kept going back and forth with me. Like, I didn't want to be at fault for something I didn't do. And I just wanted my money back. And Airbnb support kept giving me the runaround. I had this one support person that just completely threw out my request. Like, just said nope. So I had to keep calling back, trying to get someone to get on this, even on my social medias, and then finally someone did something about it. But it took weeks for someone to finally do something about it. I'm going through the screenshots that I have with my conversation with her, and I am literally laughing now because it's like all over with. But it was definitely very stressful to deal with this person. Like, she literally said, oh, Airbnb is going to take over from here. And I said, okay. Then she messages me again. Oh, I already spoke with them. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, defame my character again. I won't hesitate to sue you. What? She's like, I don't know too many people taking pictures of couches when they leave. Question mark, question mark, question mark. And she's like, you rip my couch. You know it. It's brand new. No one has stayed here but you and your family. Airbnb will be reaching out to you. Like, sue me for what? Like, I also ain't the first person to say that this lady talks about her past tenants, because after my review and after my stay, this one other girl was there. She was a person right after me, and she said that this host was talking about past tenants with her as well, and that she was unprofessional. So, bitch, what the fuck? Picture proof with timestamps and even video proof. So make sure you guys take all the photos of your furniture when you leave an Airbnb, just in case you have a host like this where the same thing happens to you. You don't want to be liable for something you didn't do. Take photos and videos with timestamps, showing every single corner that you can, a piece of furniture that you possibly can, of the house to show and prove that. But the story isn't done here yet. The Airbnb lost her Superhost badge because of all of this, because she was going wild. After I left my review, she literally called me an asshole in the comments. She literally responded to my review on her own page, calling me an asshole. She literally said that I like being an asshole to people, and that everything was a lie. And that review obviously got deleted. She wasn't allowed to post another response to it because, you know, you only get one try. So it looks very bad on her end that my review is there and she hasn't said anything to it technically. Like I said, I don't want to ruin someone's hassle, but when you're being a bitch, nothing's gonna work out for you. Sorry. She should have just let it be and move on with her day and move on to the next client and make sure everything would be great, which obviously it didn't. Because another reason why this house was such a waste of money, I literally ate the Parmesan that was in the cupboard and I didn't realize it was 4 years expired, and I ate it and I got super sick. The stove was so old that I was too afraid to use it. I thought I was going to burn down the house. And every piece of furniture in the house obviously did not match the photos in the listing because it was all new. And that was kind of a bummer because it wasn't as nice and it wasn't as relaxing. There was also no surveillance, or should I say 24/7 surveillance as the listing suggested. So that was another bummer. I wanted security and I had none. And basically, since we were at a guest house, the main house was all pitch black because the lights for it were all inside. So it was pitch black the whole driveway and the front of the house because obviously the main house had no lights on and it was just very unsafe. And like I've said, this girl does stalk my social media, so I know she's gonna see this video. Been a minute. My advice to you is to just stop letting your emotions get the best of you. You're kind of like me where you want to respond to someone that's pissing you off, but when you're in the business of being self-employed, that is the last thing you want to do. Just bite your tongue and move on. Maybe Airbnb isn't the place for you because you just can't take criticism, and just make sure you have things ready and don't bother your guests 24/7. That's the best advice I can give to you. I wish you all the best of luck. I hope you succeed. I'm not one to put down someone's hustle, but I believe you got everything you deserved because it really was hell going through weeks of worrying about having to pay for something you know damn well I didn't do. Because obviously I didn't do it. I had picture proof and I didn't pay a dime for it. So you got what you deserved. Hopefully you learned from it. And yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and my experience with Airbnb. Now you guys know what was up. Now y'all know why it was hell. You guys probably have seen me fighting with Airbnb on Twitter because this shit was getting wild. Calling me an asshole, requesting all this money for something I didn't do. Piece of work. But like I said, not every Airbnb is like this. So just make sure you protect yourself by taking photos of everything, taking screenshots of the listing the day you're checking in, because that could also change as well, which she has changed the whole listing, so watch out for that. And yeah, like I've said, it all depends on your host. Don't say F you to Airbnb just because of this story. Just be cautious and just watch yourself if you do choose Airbnb. With that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. Like, share, subscribe. Follow me for more videos. I will be uploading more videos. I just thought this would be a great one to come back to since it's almost been a year. And yeah. Bye.